I'm back. And if you haven't noticed, I took off the mask. Why? Simple. It was too silly. I got rid of that because I'm not afraid anymore to show my ugly face. I'm not afraid anymore. So any of you leftists want to, attack me in the streets, I'm all yours. but more to the bloody point. I am here to give a little bit of, advice about the midterms. First off, if the midterms don't end up at the 2020 election, Civil War, I got a few things that you would need to stock up on. First off, Spam. I highly recommend that you stock up on Spam. At least 7 to 8 cans, okay? Yes, I know it is not the most healthy. It has tons of sodium and fat, but it would get you nice and full. Second of all, whole potatoes. You can put them in a stew and they're nice to eat by themselves. I mentioned the fact that they're good in sodium. And plus, we have good old-fashioned chicken soup. This is for the winter. Winter is coming, so you better stock up on this. I recommend at least 10 cans per person. Okay? It will depend on how much people are in your own house. Because this has a lot of sodium. But sodium helps when you're sick. That's why they give you chicken noodle soup when you were a kid if you were sick. Mostly because the sodium actually helps to break the mucus and helps you, sneeze it out better. More to the point, it's just good to eat on a nice cold day. Fourth, really, is cranberry sauce. Cranberry sauce is a good sauce. It has tons of sugars in it, but the good sugars. This will help you stay nice and motivated and nice and wired in a sense. And it's not that much in calories. Okay, hold up. Gotta focus. Yeah, it's not that much in calories. And they're pretty cheap when you can find them. Now that's for food. What about for if you're, need to defend that food? Well, for me, I always go for the 10... Hold up, what's it called again? Hold up. 1022 ruler. I can't show it on screen because it's bigger than the entire set. But for the ammunition, I recommend stocking up on 22 long rifle. But more precise, my favorite! Punch. Federal. I think it's Federal Punch Flat Nose. These little puppies are basically like the OG. They're a flat nose tip with pills to anything. Anything above a foot of steel. Like 5 inches of steel. And then not so expensive either. Next up, simple copper plated 22 long rifle. 40 grains, copper plated bullet with high velocity of about over 1,000 feet. So that's good. Plus, normally you can borrow with these two. Then I recommend you stocking up on these, not for shooting, but for bordering. Hoarders and in another sense, preppers. Preppers is the proper term. They like to use these as the currency. Very useful when, the currency goes down to the bloody toilet. Water. I also recommend buying tons of bottled water. Bottled water will help because, if you're where I'm from, I used to live in Detroit. The water there was drier than Hillary Clinton's. Well, I better not say anymore. But overall, borrow water at least 3 to 5 cases, and to regulate that, how much each person of your house can have every day, because hard to buy sometimes. But if you really want to become a millionaire, then the next civil war, or say if when all hell breaks loose even more, I recommend buying the mini mads. They're more expensive, obviously, but much more. Much more. These go for at least 5 cents a round. Now, 5 cents a round. Now, imagine if, say, shit hits the fan, and the power grids go black, and the mads in 2020 again, but worse. Like in those Armageddon movies, like all of those games like Fallout and shit and shit like that. These would be the new currency. So, like on this, you can barter. Bartering will help because money won't be worth anything after the currency goes down another 1,000 points. Money becomes more worthless than tissue paper. And of course, no gas, meaning, people don't have a bloody fit over it. Now it's time for some other stuff you will need, okay? Hold up, I gotta eat my sandwich. I love corned beef. We're back on now. Okay, next thing you need to stock up on, salt. Salt would be a vital thing to have, for curing meats. That, and you would need it for daily use, for dinners and stuff like that. Of course, they're high in sodium, but for a good price too. I like to buy the Essenza brand because it's cheaper. Next up, it's probably something you were all dreading. Corned beef. Yes, corned beef is high in sodium, high in cholesterol, high in fat, and tastes like rubber boots that were been through the Arizona desert in March. But these are actually pretty good. During World War I and World War II, these were used to supply the British and American troops and civilians. Mostly because it was very affordable. Not mention the fact it could withstand the mud and muck of the trenches. They are good in calories, and as of now, I at least have maybe 3 or 4 of these. I mean, yeah, I'm not a corned beef fan, but if I have to eat it, I prefer roast beef. So yeah, that's corned beef. At least buy 6 cans of this. At least buy 6 cans per person if you need to. Personally, I wouldn't eat this if all I had to eat left was my boots. And I like my boots more than this. Next up, you will need to stock up on is evaporated milk. Again, for the same reasons. It's portable and you can store it for a long period of time rather than just normal milk. Now I mentioned the fact that this was also used during World War I and World War II. Again, for the same reason, easy portable, condensed, and of course, cheap. Now for this milk, I would only recommend buying like at least 5 of these and more of the powdered stuff. I don't have any at the moment on hand. Not on hand. But for this stuff, at least buy 5 of these. But for the powdered stuff would be much more easy because instead of opening one of these cans and letting the flies stick to it, you only have to make as much as you need instead of opening an entire can, like for, I don't know, a little cup or something like that. You only need to make what you need for the powdered stuff, okay? Now, surprisingly, Another thing you should probably stock up on is melatonin. This wonderful handy dandy thing will help you sleep at night. Because, you know, we could barely sleep during 2020. Imagine what will happen a few days from now. I recommend buying the melatonin with 200 milligrams L-theanine. This will knock you out in at least an hour. I take it all the time because I haven't slept in 5 years. But still, it still helps. Now, the next thing is not food. Hopefully it won't come to food, but winter socks. These things will come in handy for multiple reasons. First off, winter. This little thing, well, not really little, but new I meant. I cannot tell you how many times I had to sleep with cold feet. Not that term, but mostly because in the winters here, it gets very cold, at least -20 to some degree. But more to the point, at least buy at least a good pair of socks. Maybe 4 pairs of good, honest wool socks. They will help you individually. I'm gonna take another 7 minutes break. I like this corned beef better as it's not processed. Fresh from the deli. Sorry. They never tell me when I'm going back on the air. Okay. Next part and stuff you need to stock up on before the midterms. Cereal. Mostly because cheap cereal like this, I always buy this because it's good in iron and good in thiamine. Don't know what that is, but at least it's good for you. It's low in sugars too, so yes, it's still good. Plus, it's pretty cheap, only $2.99 as of now. It's a cheap breakfast, okay? We can't all have pancakes and eggs. Not combined, of course. That'd be disgusting. Next up is probably something that your grandmothers probably already have. Honey. Tons of honey. No, mostly because this is better than almost any drug you can find. Its healing properties on par with medical science. It has a type of magic to it, basically. It helps with a sore throat. It helps with if you're feeling a bit chilly. It helps, if you're feeling a bit sick. Not mention the fact, it can never go bad. There was still honey found in King Tut's tomb when it was discovered. Honey as fresh as the day it was made. So yes, it's good, especially on cereal. Now the next thing is probably obvious, green beans. They're good scientists, low in sodium, low in calories, but still, with some butter. This is a staple for dinners, okay? I like the French cut the most. My father, he hates the French cut. Ironic, I don't know why. But it's still good. I would probably consider buying at least... Can't be offended. At least 5 cans per person. 5 cans each, I guess. Along with the cereal, I recommend at least buying 3 batches of these per person. Because no one likes to share your cereal. No one likes to share cereal. It's my cereal. And now next up is probably... it's similar to the chicken soup thing. It's dumpling soup. I just love chicken and dumplings. It's high in sodium, but we only eat soup when we're sick. It's okay for the most part. This bread is pretty expensive because it's a name brand type stuff. Not like a sensor brand. Yes, but still it's pretty good because this brand has more stuff in it. It has carrots and peas, I think. Still very yummy. Now, one thing you should probably stock up on is probably these type of waters too. Personal waters, not just by big cases. Okay, let's see what I need to find. Let's see. Hold up, I'm gonna take another sandwich break. Yeah, man. I need this. Oh, sorry, fire. I'm back again. Now let's gonna wrap up mostly this video. I'm going to do more of these really. But basically, these are the last few items you will need to stock up on for this video mostly. I'm going to do more next video. Pasta! Everyone likes the pasta! Everyone likes the pasta, we're so funny about it! Most because everyone likes pasta. You can make most things out of pasta. Most meals, like, But this is something you would definitely need: beef broth. Beef broth is most important for making your own soups. And if you want, you can buy chicken broth. I recommend at least buying these 10, maybe an entire case of them, just to be sure. Next up, everyone likes beans. Everyone likes beans. Small red things, to be more precise. You can make chili out of this. Nice chili. Plus, beans are good for protein. Let's see what I have. Now this one. Now this has got to be a staple food. Rice. Rice is a guaranteed food for, a civil war, I prefer the brown rice more, but all I have is this white rice at the moment. It's low in everything really, except for carbohydrates, but still good. You can make plenty of stuff with this. You can chop out some hot dog. What the hell am I saying? You can chop up some hot dogs, and make it with some this and some mustard. Sounds disgusting, I know, but beggars can't be choosers. White rice is like a white slate. You can put anything you want in it. You can put pasta, you can put corned beef, you can put spam in it, you can put peppers in it if you like. It's more like rice is a base meal. As in, it's for a base. You can put anything you want on it. It's kind of like a Hoover stew. Take some basic ingredients and just put them in a pot and prepare the guy. It tastes okay. Now this one, it's not really a necessity. It's more like if you're bored. Popcorn, not kettle corn. That's all I have. But actually, popcorn is more of a snack food. If you're bored, the power goes out, something like that. Just it's very happy from time to time, especially if you live in California. But popcorn is a good snack food because it helps move time along. Not to mention the fact this one's whole grain. It's not that good in fiber, but nothing really is nowadays. But yes, it's still a good snack food. you know, if you're bored, if there's nothing really to do. And that's pretty much it for this video anyways. I'm not eating assignments. Because screw the producers, I can eat whenever I want. So yeah. If you like my new look, please comment below. And if you don't, keep your mouth shut. I don't care. But if you want more videos like this, just say so. I have at least 4 more days until the midterm, so tomorrow I'll be back again, sharing some more tips that you will need. You know, if worst comes to, come.